The Tennessee Titans just shook the preseason with something the stat sheet refuses to tell you. Cam Ward stepped on that field, and while his box score might look cold, the truth is far from it. The media is already dragging him, but here's the shocking part. They're ignoring the very throws that could signal the future of this franchise. Nobody expected a rookie to move linebackers with his eyes, rip passes into tight windows, and show the kind of confidence that veterans spend years building. Yet, that's exactly what happened. The narrative floating around is that Ward had an off night, finishing with 2 completions for 42 yards and a low rating. But if you watched closely, you know that doesn't tell the story. There were drops that erased big plays, protection that broke down, and still, he found ways to create. What nobody's talking about is how his presence changed the tempo of the offense. Every time he lined up, the defense felt pressure, and not just from his arm, but from the way he commanded the field. This is where the story takes a turn. The Titans didn't just see another rookie quarterback go through the motions. They saw flashes of something far bigger. The poise, the mobility, the eye manipulation. All of it screamed future potential. The stat sheet may hide it, but the film does not. And when you break down those first snaps, you see exactly why the Titans coaching staff won't be able to ignore him. Which brings us to the real question. How did Cam Ward look the moment Atlanta turned up the heat in the pocket? But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Titans and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 350 likes on this video. The Tennessee Titans saw a young quarterback handle chaos like it was routine. Atlanta sent heat fast, and a rookie edge in James Pierce Jr. squeezed the pocket. But Cam Ward did not flinch. He slid, reset his base, and kept scanning for a strike rather than bailing into traffic. That choice matters. It shows trust in his line and trust in his read, the kind of detail that turns a drive from survival into control. On the move, he found rhythm, and the ball left his hand with real intent. He drove a throw to Alec Iomanor across the field, not as a bailout but as a plan, putting it where his receiver could turn and run. That is quarterbacking with purpose. He read leverage, beat the angle, and turned pressure into a positive play. The sideline felt it, the huddle felt it. That is command you can build on. Now the question gets even bigger. Can he not only escape pressure but also shape a defense before the throw? Watch what happens when he sets his eyes, holds the second level in place, and then fires into the window they thought did not exist. That is where the real ceiling shows up, and it takes us straight into the art of manipulation and anticipation. The Tennessee Titans just showed a quarterback trick that changes how a defense breathes. Cam Ward locked his eyes down the middle and froze the second level. Linebackers wearing 42 and 40 stayed planted because the look never shifted. That calm stare held the window open, and the moment they hesitated, the timing of the route came alive. Protection slid, the concept cleared the top, and Van Jefferson streaked across the field. Ward kept his helmet steady, hit the back of his drop, and lifted the ball with touch over the underneath defender. It was a layered throw, firm but catchable, placed where only his guy could get it and still turn upfield. That is not luck. That is control of tempo and space before the ball even leaves the hand. Now the focus turns to who can grow with him. If this offense matches his anticipation with sharp routes and strong finishes, the ceiling moves higher fast. The next step is simple. Which weapons will rise with that standard and stack real gains drive after drive? The Tennessee Titans found help arriving on cue. A rookie wideout from Stanford named Alec Iomanor brought size, balance, and clean releases that fit Cam Ward's rhythm. He showed a calm target window and strong body control, the kind of profile that lets a young quarterback trust what he sees and cut it loose without second-guessing. Calvin Ridley sat out, yet the timing work still showed progress. Ward threw with pace and led his receivers into open grass, and Elick answered by settling in the soft spots and turning upfield with purpose. That is how chemistry starts. It is not a single play, it is a stack of small wins. The precise footwork, the quiet hands, the right angles that keep a drive alive. Now the picture shifts to the full room. A veteran like Van Jefferson can thrive when the ball arrives early and on time, and that standard forces every target to sharpen details. The question is simple and urgent. Will this group finish at the same level that Ward is throwing? Because the next sequence puts that under a bright light and shows how thin the margin really is. The Tennessee Titans just watched throws that change a game slip through fingers. Cam Ward put the ball where a receiver could catch and run, not just survive contact. One cross sailed over a trailing defender and settled at eye level. Another quick out arrived before the corner could drive. These were placement throws with timing baked in, the kind that reward trust and punish hesitation. If those chances are finished, the story is different. A long gain flips field position, a quick strike sets up a short yard try, and the drive math tilts fast. The box line looks plain only because the finish was missing, not because the read or the release was wrong. That matters when you judge a young quarterback. You grade the decision, the location, and the courage to let it rip when the window looks tight. Now the lens widens. Can this offense match that accuracy with tough catches and clean endings, snap after snap? When the hands meet the standard, the chains move, the calls open, and the night belongs to Tennessee. Which takes us to the next step, the surge that followed, and how one spark changed the flow of the entire unit. The Tennessee Titans felt the mood flip the moment Cam Ward took control of the tempo. He pushed the huddle with quick cadence, read the shell, and snapped into answers before the rush could breathe. When Atlanta showed pressure, he fired to the blitz side and stole easy yards, not with panic throws, but with fast decisions that kept the drive alive and the crowd leaning forward. That urgency spread through the unit. Backs attacked the edge with purpose, receivers snapped out of breaks like the ball was already in the air, and the line finished blocks because the ball came out on time. You could see the offense move from guessing to dictating, from waiting on a play to owning the next snap. It looked like a group discovering that rhythm is not a highlight, it is a habit. That spark did not stop with the offense. The sideline woke up, the defense fed on the pace, and the stadium felt louder with every clean series. If the offense can keep hitting first, the other side of the ball can swing even harder. Now watch how that surge shows up when the Titans defense takes the field and turns chances into game-changing plays. The Tennessee Titans defense turned pressure into points and forced Atlanta to feel every snap. Cedric Gray, now in his second year, flew to the ball and stacked real production with 6 tackles and 1.5 sacks. He closed space fast, slipped blocks with clean hands, and finished plays with strong balance. That kind of night does more than win downs. It sets the tone for how this team wants to play. Kendall Brooks, also in his second year, read the quarterback like a tell. He sat on the flat, jumped the throw, and took it back for a touchdown. That return was not a gamble. It was recognition and timing, the product of film work and trust in his break. When a safety punishes a lazy read, the whole sideline learns something. Eyes matter, and speed to the ball matters even more. Now, the Titans have a defense that hunts and an offense that can hit back fast. That mix changes how opponents call games, and it gives Cam Ward more chances with short fields and momentum. The last piece is simple and huge. Put the entire night in context and answer the only question that matters. What did the tape prove about where this team is heading next? Your voice decides the next deep dive. Drop your letter grade for Cam Ward with one reason in plain words. Name the Titans receiver you trust most on 3rd and long right now. Tell me if you want more quick game against pressure or more play action shots next week. Pick the next Titan for film focus, offense or defense, and say why. Hit subscribe if you want that breakdown the moment it drops, and keep the grades coming because this conversation sets the stage for the next test.